So you're moving to the Seattle area and you want to make sure you move into a place that's going to have great schools around it. Now, this is one of the most common things I hear when people reach out to me here from YouTube and they're making the move over here is they want to be near good schools, either for purposes of themselves, for their kids, or for potential future resale value. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the school district, some resources that you should use to figure out where the best spot might be for you to land. As always, I'm Bryce Greenleaf, a local real estate agent over in this Seattle area. So if you're planning to make the move over here and you want more help outside of this video on dissecting where the best place for you might be to end up, feel free to book a discovery call with me at my link below. You can reach out to me directly at my contact info, or just go to my calendar link and book a call with me there, and I would be happy to help. But I want to talk today specifically about these school districts, and we're going to talk about the entire Seattle metropolitan area, not just the city of Seattle. Now, of course, as I'm sure you're aware, the quality of the school district is also going to factor into the price point that you're purchasing in. Of course, the best districts are typically in the most expensive areas. Now, that's not to say there's not good schools in mid-level priced areas and below. There certainly are. You just got to figure out what's the most important thing to you and how high on that school grading scale you really want to be. So one of the best resources you can use to look into this information is actually on the Redfin website. So if you didn't already know that, I'm going to jump into Redfin here and show you how it syncs up with the greatschools.org ratings and can give you an overview of where those houses are for sale in the school districts you're looking for. All right, so let's jump into the map here. You can see we've got the entire Seattle metropolitan area pulled up by the boundaries here. Now, this is 3 counties that I always talk about on my videos. Up north is Snohomish County. Right in the middle is King County, where Seattle is, and down south is Pierce County. So I don't have filters on right now for any school district ratings or anything. So you can see there are over 5,000 homes currently for sale in those 3 counties, residential and condos that are currently for sale. So if we go into the filter section and we scroll all the way down, you can see schools here. So like I said, this integrates with greatschools.org, which is probably your best resource when it comes to researching school districts specifically. However, you can use the sliding scale and choose the districts that would fit maybe what you're looking for. So the overall rating out of 10. So 5 out of 10 schools, or you can go to 8 out of 10. So if we look at just high schools, let's slide the scale up, and let's just say you want the best rated 9+ rated high schools in the Seattle metropolitan area. We had 5,100 homes for sale to begin with, and now we have 49 homes for sale. So if we zoom in here, this is going to be on the east side primarily, right up here in Seattle. And of course, this is the most expensive place to live, and you've got Sammamish, where that 9 rated high school is. If we go down south here, go down south, all right, just to University Place. So University Place has another well-rated school district. So if you obviously don't want to be that tight with your school ratings and that limiting on what you can look for. You don't necessarily need a 9 or 10 rated high school. Now let's look and see how that changes with elementary schools. Let's just uncheck the high school and middle school. There was 49 homes in those areas, and let's just check the elementary schools. So now, just focusing on elementary schools, we have over 455 homes that are in 9+ rated elementary school districts or zones. Of course, there are more elementary schools than there are high schools, but this is going to give you a good idea of where those best school districts really are located and centered around. Of course, again, we have the east side up here. So this is, the most desirable area that people are moving into when they come over this way. The Bellevue area, Sammamish, Kirkland up here, Redmond. These are where some of the best schools are going to be. Outside of that, you actually have the north side of Seattle. So Queen Anne and Ballard through that corridor up there, and even West Seattle. If we zoom out and go outside of King County, or let's just say further south in King County, right on the King County, Pierce County border, You have Bonnie Lake over here and Lake Tapps, which have some very, very well-rated schools out there as well. And that's going to be a huge drop in price point if you go all the way down there. On the east side of North Bellevue area, those price points have around $1.5 million for median home prices. Down here, much cheaper, $700,000-800,000, closer to that. So let's just say you don't want to be so extremely limited again on those elementary schools. You don't need 9 rated schools. Let's look at some 7 rateds, 7 plus. So slide that scale, and we're going to include high schools here. And so we have over 1,100 homes now in the 7 plus rating category here. So again, you can kind of start to get a picture of where the best school districts are and how that's going to relate to home prices here. So let's just give you an overview. So you can see this voided zone through here. This is South King County. Now this is where I have the least amount of my buyers who come here from out of state that end up buying a home. This is the least common spot that they end up is South King County. Done very few there for people that are relocating. Usually they go to these spots where we see these schools because these are just above the mid-ranked schools. These are considered good to great schools in the Seattle metropolitan area. So we talked about the Pierce County area here on the east side, the Bonnie Lake and Lake Tapps area right here already. Gig Harbor on this side is another very popular destination for people to go to that are also considering schools. We talked about University Place right there as well. As we go up north, again, you're going to see a lot of these best school districts are tucked further east outside of the main I-5 corridor, especially on this kind of south side. So as you go up through Seattle, you're going to have the best Seattle districts in the north side of Seattle, up and through here, while you can see that the south side of Seattle does not have that. There's a lot of 4s and 5s through those zones. Now, the east side, again, is littered with schools that are 7 plus rated districts, and then we already talked about that. And then if we go north into Snohomish County, which is, again, one of the more popular destinations people are going to when they're coming up here, is Snohomish County. And you can see where people are ending up by where these school district ratings are, where these homes are for sale in these best districts. So you have the west side over here is Mukilteo. Mukilteo is the Kamiak School District, which has a very good reputation, and a lot of people, when they're going to the north side, they want to be in Mukilteo. On the flip side to that, those that are going further north want to get more bang for their buck when it comes to their home prices. There's a reason Lake Stevens has absolutely blown up and why there's so much new construction that has gone on there over the last 5 years and continues to expand further and further, because the demand in Lake Stevens has been insane over the last few years. And a huge reason for that is those school districts. Look at the neighboring cities, Marysville, Everett, even Snohomish. Snohomish has decent ratings, just not quite, just south side of Snohomish over here. But you can see the neighboring cities, Granite Falls. They do not fall in this great schools zone of 7 plus high schools and elementary schools. There are some 7 plus elementary schools around, but when you combine the two, Lake Stevens is really where those are, and so that's why it has become such a desirable spot. So another thing to factor in here is what it's going to look like for you in terms of how long you may own this home, right? How long can you see your ownership taking place here? Because you may not need to prioritize the high school ratings. Maybe there's a lot of 8s and 7 rated elementary schools nearby, or even 9s, but the high school is maybe a little bit lower. If you're not going to be in that same zone, if you don't have kids yet, or if your kids are really young, that may be something that you can avoid considering and give you more options on where you're going to move to and what that best place is going to be. So I'm going to jump into the map here again and just very briefly talk about price points. So maybe if you've got a certain price point in mind of a home price that you're looking to buy, I can give you some pointers on some areas to look at here to kind of guide your search along. So again, if you're looking in the mid 1 million range, 1.2 to, or anything above that, 1.2 plus, you can really focus a lot of your searches on that east side through here. Again, that's Bellevue, Kirkland, Redmond, Issaquah, Sammamish, all the way through here, just east of Lake Washington. That's going to really give you the best schools, best rated schools in this area. Now, if you're saying, hey, my budget isn't quite that, I need to be closer to $1,900,000, $800,000, somewhere in that range, 800 to $1 million, then you may want to go in some other directions. Let's start by going north. I mentioned Bothell and the North Shore School District right in here. So you're just very close to the east side. But as you get to Bothell and up close to Mill Creek here, you're going to have some more options for some home prices that are hovering right around $1 million. That's where that median price point is hovering right around. In Bothell is $1 million. If you come over here to the west side of South Snohomish County, you've got Edmonds through here, which is going to be very similar pricing to the Bothell area. Now, if we continue, go back down south, I'll show you the Maple Valley area that we covered. So again, Maple Valley down here, a lot of homes that are going to be, $800 to $1 million price point, again, with some of those most desirable schools in the area. Now, let's say you need to be under 800. My budget's under 800,000, but I want to be in the best district that I can be in. What areas should I look in? If you're looking for a single family, detached, regular home that is not a condo, there's a few areas that you can still look under that $800,000 price point. Maple Valley will have a few. You can see one right here for $670. There'll be a few in there, so you can continue to look in that area. You can come over to Gig Harbor. There's going to be a number of options through Gig Harbor here. You can see these price points. There's a number of them in the 6s and 7s and even some in the 5s. So you can have some options through there if that's your price point and you want to be in one of those better districts. Outside of there in Maple Valley, if we come up to the north side in Snohomish County, we talked about Lake Stevens. That's where that price point is going to be a lot more friendly for you right through there. Mukilteo is going to be closer to that $1 million price point, but if we're looking under 800, that Lake Stevens area is going to be the prime spot in say Snohomish County versus some of the other areas. And you can even come up here to Stanwood area near Lake Goodwin and get some similar price points up there. All right, well, hopefully that info was helpful for you. Again, use Redfin as a resource or reach out to me directly. Like I said, you can book a discovery call with me at my link below or reach out to my contact info below. Either way, if you want to talk with me and try to figure out and nail down where the best place for you to move, if you're combining, your certain budget and wanting to be in as good of a school district as you can get in, I can help you kind of navigate that and find some homes that are located in those best rated districts. Thanks for watching this one. See you on the next one.